So, who is the top 10 of 1991 in the WWF and the WCW? At number 10, Ric Flair. Flair actually had success in both companies this year. He kicked things off in WCW. Him and the Horsemen would win the War Games match, which a lot of people are saying may be the best War Games ever. At least at this point it is. Then he would also get in a short-lived feud with Japanese wrestler Tatsumi Fujinami. In fact, they would actually trade the world title back and forth. However, he would leave WCW, and when he did, he took the belt with him, claiming to be the real world champion. So he came to WWF and started some shit with Hogan, and he would win his debut pay-per-view match at Survivor Series, being the sole survivor of his team. And then later on go on to cost Hogan his title shot, and that would end up being a war between the two that would last for the end of the year. So this is actually Ric Flair's third appearance in the top 10. His last was back in 1989. So, who's number 9? At number 9, Dustin Rhodes. So just like Flair, he actually did have a run in both companies. However, he wasn't successful in WWF. In fact, he only had one match. Him and his dad, Dusty, would take on the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and Virgil, and they came out on the short end of that one. However, he would arrive in WCW and start picking up huge wins over members of the York Foundation and the Fabulous Freebirds. Start going by the natural Dustin Rhodes, and he was quickly put into the title picture, taking on Stunning Steve for the TV title at Halloween Havoc, and then of course he would even headline at Starrcade when he qualified for the Battle Bowl, Lethal Lottery matches. However, he didn't win the Battle Royal in the end. So, but still, yet good rookie year here on the big stage. So at number 8, Animal. So, Legion of Doom made a huge impact in the WWF. I mean, at WrestleMania, they just squashed the shit out of Power and Glory. And then, towards the end of the summer at SummerSlam, they would take on the rivals, the Nasty Boys. And it was a no count-out, no DQ match for the tag titles, which, LOD came out on top. They would actually go on to headline and be the sole survivors at Survivor Series that year. Quick little side note, I only picked one of the Road Warriors to be put on the list, and the reason I went with Animal was because he outlasted Hawk in a Royal Rumble, so I was like, I'm going to go with Animal this year. This is his second appearance in the top 10, and his last was back in 1989, so that's Animal. At number 7, we got Scott Steiner. Steiner's had a better year than Legion of Doom this year. Not only were they the World Tag Team Champions in WCW, they also held the IWPG titles at the same time. Unfortunately, Scotty got injured about mid-year, and that kind of kept him out of action for a bit, which is why he's a little bit lower on the card. However, when he did come back, he made it to the finals. However, the Starrcade Lethal Lottery, he made it to the finals, to the Battle Royal. However, he would end up losing that Battle Royal. So, this is actually Scott's second appearance in the top 10. Last year, he was he dropped from number 3. Yeah. So, yeah, he went from 3 to 7, but hey, still a great year for Scott Steiner. At number 6, all right, I'm going to get some shit for this one, but you know what? Bring it. Comment. I don't care. At number 6, Big Josh. All right, you fucks. This is kayfabe, all right? So keep it friendly. Dude, this lumberjack had a great year. Say what you want, but, I mean, he just kept up picking up the wins after wins after wins. He defeated Black Bart, Black Blood in a lumberjack match, and then he had a tag match against the Creatures. And in fact, the only pay-per-view loss he had was at Starrcade when he was in the Lethal Lottery matches, and before he can even qualify for the finals, he lost to Stunning Steve Austin and Ravishing Rick Rude, which, hey, if you're going to go down, might as well go down to some of the greatest, right? So number 6, Big Josh. At number 5, beautiful Bobby Eaton. So this was the year that he really did kind of break out. Last year he had to kind of prove himself as a single star, but this is the year he really established himself as a single star. And really the crowd was really getting into him. They got behind him big time. At Super Brawl, he would take on Arn Anderson and defeat him for the TV title. Of course, he had a really good run at the TV title until he went up against Stunning Steve Austin, which, saw them kind of fight back and forth for the belt. And also eventually, see them in a scaffold match when Stunning Steve Austin and, who did he team up with? Was it Chris Adams up there? No, it wasn't Chris Adams. It was Terry Taylor, I think. Doesn't matter. But they fought Eaton and PN News, and Eaton and PN News came out the winner. This is actually Eaton's second appearance in the top 10, and he's up 4 spots from last year. So congratulations, Bobby Eaton. At number 4, Lex Luger. So Luger started the year out as U.S. champion, and, he's in a great spot. Him and his best friend Sting even got shots at the tag titles held by his other best friends, the Steiner brothers. However, when Ric Flair left, the company and took the title with him, he found himself as one of the top 2 contenders for that world title. And at Great American Bash, he would take on Barry Windham and beat him in a steel cage match to win his first world title. However, it was during the course of that evening that he would join forces with Harley Race. And, we saw an attitude change in Luger once again. Now he's in the main event. He got cockier, more arrogant, and we started seeing him resort to his cheating ways that we haven't seen since, he was a Horseman. At Halloween Havoc, he defeated Ron Simmons in a best 2 out 3 falls match for his title. And he would even go on to headline Battle Bowl at Starrcade, making it all the way to the finals. And then in the Battle Royal, he was actually one of the last 2 men standing. However, it was his former friend Sting that would throw him out. This is his 3rd appearance on the top 10 in a row. Like, this guy has been in the top 10 for the past 3 years, and he's even up 4 spots from last year. So, huge year for Lex Luger. All right, at number 3, Rick Steiner. So I've already pretty much mentioned a lot of his accomplishments with Scott during, when I talked about Scott's entrance. However, why Rick is up higher is because when Scott got injured, Rick didn't stop. He kept wrestling. He would even headline the Great American Bash in what was essentially a handicap cage match because, Missy Hyatt got kidnapped earlier tonight. He would defeat Arn Anderson and Paulie Dangerously. And, just another great year for the Steiner brothers, but especially for Rick Steiner. And this is also Rick Steiner's 3rd year in a row being in the top 10. And he only dropped 1 spot from last year, so way to go, Rick. At number 2, El Diante. All right, fuck you. So here's the thing. Kayfabe-wise, dude, he was fucking unstoppable this year. I mean, seriously, he had a great year. He defeated Mr. Hughes, Sid Vicious, and the One Man Gang. In fact, when he defeated One Man Gang, it was a match to determine who the real giant at WCW was. He was on the winning side of the Chamber of Horrors match. In fact, the only match he lost on pay-per-view in 1991 was at the Starrcade Lethal Lottery. And the only reason he even lost that match was because with his random partner Larry Zbyszko just kind of belittling him during the whole thing and trying to boss him around, he just said, fuck you, took him out, and then walked out of the match. So, that's an incredible year right there. I'm sorry, El Diante. Number 2, eat some dick. So that brings us to who is our number 1, and that is Hulk Hogan. I mean, Hulkamania came back in a huge way, and it was running wild everywhere. With all the issues we were having with Iraq that year, patriotism was high, and Hogan took it upon himself to dedicate, his win at the Royal Rumble to the troops. And then to kind of further stand up for America's honor, he took on Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania 7 to win the world title. Of course, his battles with Slaughter, lasted the entire summer, and also include Colonel Mustafa and General Adnan. However, there were 2 people who emerged in the fall that would cause Hogan a lot of problems. First was Ric Flair, who, again, shows up, says that he's the real world champion, and decided to go after Hogan. However, there's another top challenger who is, climbing the ranks, and that would be The Undertaker. And in fact, at Survivor Series, Taker and Paul Bearer and Ric Flair all worked together to get the title away from him. However, a week later at, this Tuesday in Texas, he was able to defeat them all and get his world title back. So this is Hogan's 5th time in the top 10, which is insane. That's a record right there. He broke a record again. He's the first guy to ever get top 10 5 times. However, he kind of starts a new record as he's the only person to be number 1 twice. So hell yeah. And last year he actually was number 5, so he came up all the way to the top. He was in the middle of the list last year and then came up to the top. So congratulations, number 1 wrestler of 1991. Well, that's Hulk Hogan.